Hi everyone, my name is Debbie and I'm on the creative design team at Sizzix and the bakery is open. Who doesn't love a slice of cake? I'm going to walk you through all the steps for you to be able to create this cute little cake box. It has all the sprinkles, all the frosting, whichever flavor you want to make, it's all up to you. So before I walk you through all the steps to create this box, let me just show you all the different sides of it. So this is the lid, this is the base, and this is the back. So to create all the different parts and pieces, you can see how it all comes together here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this back up and show you all the dies that comes with the set. So it's a 10-piece die set. It's all Thinlits. You have the back side, which is the part that comes back here. This is the base, this is the lid, and this is on the back side of the lid. And these are your different layers of frosting. So whether you're going to be decorating a cake that's one layer or multiple layers, you have all these little individual rectangle different strips that will create whatever frosting color you have. However you cut this out, this is something that you're going to use for sprinkles, whether the person who's receiving this cute little box is going to have sprinkles on it or not, whether they like sprinkles on it or not, it's up to you, but cut this in multiple colors, whether you're using adhesive sheets or individual little bits of liquid glue. This is what you would use for the sprinkles. And it's up to you on the dripping of the frosting, or if you'd like a scalloped edge. Lucky you, we give you multiple dies. So you have 4 individual things for the whipped cream. So this way you can do 4 at a time. Sometimes I like to use 6, sometimes I just use a couple, however you like it. If you want whipped cream or not, it's up to you. So the best part is if you love whipped cream, look how many dies you get. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through it, and I'm gonna start cutting the pieces so you will know exactly what you need. So using my Big Shot machine and my thin die adapter platform, thin die adapter sandwich and the cutting pads, I'm going to show you exactly what you need. So since I'm going to be doing this pink one right now, I'm going to use our ballet slipper cardstock. So you need to cut one of everything that actually assembles the box. So as far as the different frosting pieces, it's up to you what you want to use. But to have the actual box itself, you need to cut one of each. So since the frosting is going to be the ballet slipper pink, I'm going to use this die set, or sorry, this particular die, that's the lid. And a good thing to remember about this one is, just so you'll know what color you're going to be using, since the cake itself was a vanilla, I want to make sure that the way I remember it is this smaller triangle shape, which creates the lid, goes with this smaller piece. So these two are going to be the same color. So this is the smaller one, and this is the smaller one of the back side. And another, just to give you an example of why I do it like that, this is the bigger one and this is the bigger one. So if you can see the difference, this is larger than this. So this goes with the larger one, if that makes sense. So the smaller, to me, this is how I do it. The smaller goes with the smaller and the larger goes with the larger. Only if you're going to be doing 2 different flavors of paper. So since we're going to start with the frosting and the pink bits, I'm going to use everything that I need to have that is going to be the pink color. So the actual lid, the back side of the lid, the frosting, and the layers. So these are all the parts that are going to be the pink color. Say I want to do the sprinkles also, just to have some, I might as well have room on my paper and on my work area here. I'm going to go ahead and run these through. If I wanted to do the scalloped edge, I could go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and run this through the machine. I mean, how cute is that little box, whether it's filled with a little trinket, a little piece of jewelry, their favorite little chocolates, or maybe a little money. It all fits inside. Okay, so these are all the pieces. These are the layers. Now, to make it easier, I could have added adhesive sheets on the back, or I could use a liquid glue. These are all the sprinkles. So I have some already cut. So let me just add those in there. Look how fun that looks all together. So I have some already cut, ready to go. And since I need 2 of these instead of having to do them all on camera, since I know you want to get started on creating this, I have these already cut, and I already have 2 more. So you need to do 3 of those. Sorry, 3 in total of the frosting. Okay, so for the base, since I am using the cardstock that is more of a neutral color, since we're doing a vanilla cake with the strawberry frosting, I'm going to do this color, and this is the base, and then I need that. If I want to do also some sprinkles in that color, I could go ahead and add that in there. Now, you're going to think, hey, should I just save paper and put this inside? No, because that will give you sprinkle shaped holes on the top, on the bottom of your box, and whatever goodies you put inside might fall through. I got my sprinkles, put those in there. And as you can see, it also does all the score lines. So there's no issue, there's no question of where you should fold. And all these are ready to go. Okay, let me show you. I had pre-cut, just to save time, the whipped cream. So you can see right there, the score line's right there, and you can cut multiples at a time. I just did it just to save time on putting it together, so I pre-cut the pieces, and then I'll just show you how to assemble it. So since I'm done with my machine, I'm going to put that aside, and then we can get going on the creation. Okay, so I'm going to start with my score lines. So as you can see, hopefully, the score lines are right here. I'm going to fold. I like to fold them both directions just to give a strong fold, and then the final one will be in the direction of how you want to have it. So you want to always make sure that the good side of the paper is against the blade when you're cutting. Just fold it along there. I mean, how cute is this for a birthday party, a little party favors, and just do it in the same colors as the little theme of the little birthday party, or just a little gift if you're giving somebody something little special on their birthday. You want to put it inside of there. So go ahead, and I'm going to fold that right there on the fold. And then you see this one tab right here. There's another one to fold in. Okay, so this part also, so this one has all these little individual little score lines. You're going to want to fold them. I like to just fold them lightly. I don't want to see the actual individual lines on the back of my cake. So I'm going to fold down these tabs. These are the tabs that are going to go against the base of your cake. So those fold down nice and easy. And then you have that one tab at the end. I'm going to fold it backwards once. And then that way. Okay, so that's ready to go. So instead of me folding it and kind of having the straight line rigid, since it already has the score lines, I just like to softly roll it against my finger just to give an even curve instead of the straight rigid lines. And since the score lines are in there, that helps you manipulate the paper a little easier. So that way it's going to go along the curve of the back of your box. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the lid of the cake. I'm going to fold it down on the score lines, forwards and backwards. So this little tab. And here's one more score line here. And then backwards, I like to just to make sure I have a nice strong score. And then the last little tab here. So if you can kind of see how it all comes together. And this is the same idea that I did with this one. Instead of folding it right there on the strong score lines, the only ones I want to make sure are actually folded down rigidly are the tiny tabs. And those just go down easily with your finger because the score line is so strong. And then you have that one tab there on the end. Fold that forward. And then like the other one, I'm just going to kind of curve it along just to give it a smooth, rounded edge. Okay, so let's start baking. Well, I guess we baked it already when we cut it, right? So on all the little tabs is where you're going to put your liquid adhesive. So I'm using our express glue. Just a little dab will do ya. Dries fast, that's why we gave it the name express, and it dries clear. So that, I'm just going to hold it down for a second. And then the piece here, this is the part that's going to be the rounded edge. So this straight line here, or this straight edge, that's the part where the tab is going to be. This side already has a tab, so you're going to adhere the tab against the straight line, the tab against the straight line. So I'm just going to put some glue here on the tab. And then I'm going to put some along here. I could put them on those individual tabs, or I could just put it inside on this part right here. So straight line against the score line of that tab. Hold it for a second. And then I'm just going to make sure those score lines of those individual tabs, those tiny tabs, are right there on the straight edge of the back of the lid. And then the final tab on the end of this piece will go, I'll put some adhesive, some liquid adhesive on there. Bring that tab in a little bit. Hold that down. Guess I didn't put enough liquid adhesive on there, or maybe it dried too fast. Hold it down just a little bit. So the recipient that gets this cute little box, if they like chocolate cake, make them a chocolate cake. If they like lemon, make them a little lemon cake with our limoncello cardstock. So how fun is that? So there's the lid. Alrighty. I had already pre-cut the dripping frosting, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to the sides. Now I could put an adhesive sheet on the drip frosting, but then the part that is dripping down would still have the adhesive, and it would be stuck to your base, your bottom of the box. So you don't want that. So using a liquid adhesive or a double-sided tape is the best way to go. So see how it's starting to take shape? I kind of want to go home and make a cake after I do this. Okay, now we're going to put another one on this side. How fun is this cake? I will love it. I'm going to go ahead and just line up the straight edge against the straight edge of this top of the lid of your box. And the reason I did one on third one is if you wanted to have it on the back, it just finishes it off nicely. You don't have to. If you don't want to use your paper for that they might not see, but presentation is everything, right? And it's going to be a little bit longer than what you need, so then I would just trim it off. Just hold it down till it dries. And there's that fun little piece. You can almost smell the strawberry through the screen. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the same idea with this. So it's up to you if you want to do this first. I think it turns out better and the construction is easier if you do the tabs first. But as you make multiples, yeah, I'm sure it'll be a personal preference. Close that point up there. And now I'm going to do the well, I could do it the same way, but I'll just show you the difference. So on the other one, I added the glue to this long area here where the tiny tabs tiny tabs touch. I'll do it on this way so you can see the difference. So I'm also going to do it on that tab, and then just a couple little dots on here. Remember, straight edge against the straight edge fold score line. I'm just going to hold that down. And then hold these down against the curve of the box base, or box's bottom. Hold that down as it dries. So it's up to you whether you want to put the glue on this side or on the individual tabs. Either way, the whole box comes together and it works perfectly. Hold that down a little bit, and then the final little piece of our little bit of express glue will go on that individual tab that's on the last side, and put the edge straight up against the score line. I mean, yeah, against the score line of the box. Hold that down. And if you look at the inside, you can see the construction. Did you ever think you'd be an engineer and creating a box that looks this cute? Love it. And there you have it. That's how you assemble it. The actual box base with the frosting dripping down and pure deliciousness. Now, if you decide that you want to do the layers of frosting, you could go ahead and adhere this rectangle strip or not. If it's just one big cake that's got one layer, you don't need to worry about the layer of frosting. You want to bring it down a little bit lower because the cake itself, it has that frosting that drips down, and you don't want to hide this strip. So I bring it down just a little bit. And as you can see, it's a little bit narrower, so you want to, not as long, so you're going to want to add some, cut 3 layers, sorry, 3 of these. The die has the 3 individual strips inside, so you can do the different layers. So just line them up and just keep frosting it around your slice. Wrap it around. If I use the adhesive sheets, it would be an easy way to go. So that would be a perfect thing to use on the sprinkles as well, the adhesive sheets. Or you could use individual dabs of glue. It's up to you. And then I'm going to keep going around with this last one. The best part about this die set is it comes with, well, one of the best parts, the whole best part about the whole die set is because it's so darn cute. But the best part about this is you don't have to cut 3 of these. You already have 3. So that helps a lot. So I'm going to go ahead, make sure that matches up with the one in front of it. Even that up a little bit. And there we have it. Oops, didn't put enough glue on that last little bit. You could put people's individual names on the top of the cake if you didn't add any sprinkles, and that could be their little place setting, and fill it with some candy. But this is the reason why you want to have that little strip lower, because you want to be able to see it, because the frosting that drips down hides that part. Okay, so for the sprinkles, or sorry, the whipped cream, you're going to cut multiples. So I already cut a few. Let me just peel this one off. And it has a score line down the middle. You can see it on the actual Thinlit. The score line's down the middle. And you're just going to fold them in half. Whether you're going to use adhesive sheets or your wet glue. Either way, you're going to do a few. So this is already 2 back to back. Fold them down the middle, and then you're going to match it up with the one right next to it. This one has the adhesive sheet on it, so it's already a sticker and sticky and ready. Same with this one. Fold it down the middle. Adhere that down. You'll match them up right against the same shape of the fluff of the whipped cream. And then for the last 2 to connect, if one of them's already sticky, it's ready to go. If not, add a little bit of the glue, and then it will match up perfectly with the one next to it. So this just has 4. I could have done multiples, and I'll show you how it looks depending on how many you do. So for the frosting, we've already frosted the cake. And just to show you a fun little way, I already have the adhesive sheets on here. So I'm just going to start decorating it. Peel it off, saves time. Or if you use tweezers and dip in it a little puddle of glue. Get multiple colors on here just so you can get an idea. But you have the idea from the original sample I did, so that should help. That one didn't have adhesive on it. And neither did this one. Okay, last one. So that just gives you an idea how cute it would be. Then you go ahead, add a little whipped cream if the recipient likes whipped cream. If she's has the lactose issue, then you don't want to put it on her cake. But so there you have it. You could either hot glue this down or use the express glue. Since there's so many little lines on it, I don't want to tip it over. But that just gives you an idea how easy that is to construct. It's literally a piece of cake. So let me move this aside and show you a couple other ideas. Here's one that has multiple puffs of the whipped cream, if you could see it from the side, versus the one that I had just done where it's just 4. So the difference you could tell. So this one I've used the scalloped edge. So instead of using the dripped frosting, I use this die, and that creates the scalloped edge all the way around. You would need to cut 3. And then I just use the white layered frosting strips in the middle. So there's that one. Does she like red velvet? Does he like red velvet? Here it is using red cardstock, multiple. So here's a lot more of the whipped cream pieces cut and assembled. Chocolate fudge. Everybody loves chocolate, right? That one's fun. I used the lighter brown with a darker fudge, and that's such a cute little color combination. And this one you've already seen without the whipped cream. And change it up for the particular holiday. How about pumpkin pie? Everybody has whipped cream on their pumpkin pie. So that's a fun little assortment of the cake slice box. Able to show you how to create it all, putting it together. It's literally the easiest box to assemble, and it's so fun to create when you start going and you come up with the different flavors you want. It's so much fun. One last thing, I just took one of our framelit circles and just trimmed around that drip frosting. And how about this cute little tag? Took a little chunk out of it with a scalloped edge frosting, or sorry, scalloped edge circle, and there you have it, a bite out of a donut. So I hope I've inspired you to preheat your oven, or should I say, take out your Big Shot machine and create this adorable cake slice box.